Kinich isn't very flexible. Okay, he actually is, but that's not what I mean. He isn't really flexible with his team comps, as he really likes to have the enemy burning and to be the main DPS. These two conditions really limit Kinich, but that got me thinking. Can we break Kinich free of this mold and make him into a support with no pyro characters on his team? Well, this video wouldn't really exist if I haven't found the perfect solution, so welcome back to Off Meta, where today we'll be reinventing Kinich into the best Dendro Hyperbloom support in the game. I'll be showcasing his new weird team and build today, while also comparing it to his normal burning team. I'll also be showcasing how his team performs against the Spiral Abyss, so stay tuned for that craziness as well. I would yap more, but How is currently threatening me to get this showcase done, so let's just get into it. Alright, let's go ahead and start by taking a look at Kinich's build first. So he is going to be running Favonius Greatsword, which is pretty much a support weapon, helps him get his burst up, which is actually pretty important for this team because we want to keep applying Dendro as fast as possible and as much as possible. So this kind of just helps get his burst up, helps get the energies team up a little bit as well. It's just overall a pretty good support weapon that we will be taking advantage of today. Lots of energy recharge, which of course we do like. And as for artifacts, this is where things get a little bit more interesting. We're going to be running Kinich on Scroll of the Cinder City, or whatever people call it nowadays. This is actually going to be really good for buffing up all the characters in our team, which is going to be Xingqiu, Yelan, and the Raiden Shogun as well. But I'll get more to that in a little bit. So we're honestly going to be seeing how well Kinich can take advantage of that. Hopefully he can do a pretty good job. I think he can, but I guess you know what? We're going to find out today. For constellations, we're going to be C0. The only early-ish constellation that would really help here is his C2, which would decrease the Dendro resistance, which would be pretty nice for being a support, but you know what? Unfortunately, we do not got that going on right now. I'm saving up my Primo Gems for Nod Cry whenever that comes out, because you know what? We need to save, guys. I'm a little bit broke. I got like 40 wishes in the bank. Finally, for talents, he's going to be 1, 9, and 6. These are the only talents that really matter. This will just be doing a little bit of extra damage, and this will also be doing a little bit extra damage, but mostly these are just for applicating Dendro. That's just what we really want to do with Kinich, is get as much Dendro on the opponent as possible, while also taking advantage of the scroll set, of course, because he is the only Dendro character who can actually do that. So that makes him pretty unique in that regard. And for final stats, he'll have 1.4k attack, crit ratio, which is decent, 60 over 187, I'll take that, and a lot of energy recharge, which again, I said is very important to make sure that this team flows well, which again, that's kind of what we want to do, make a team that just works well. Alright, and as for our other teammates, we're going to be running Xingqiu on Sack Sword, Noblish Oblige, C6, and some decent levels on the talents. Xingqiu, y'all know how he works. And we're also going to be running Yelan with her Aqua Simulacra and a two-piece set for HP and ER. She's going to be C0 and 4, 9, 10 crown on the burst, because you know what? We like when Yelan does damage. That's what we want. 49k HP as well. That's pretty good. Finally, we have the Raiden Shogun, who is going to be on an EM build. As you can see, she has 1023 EM on the side there. She's going to be running Dragon's Bane and Flower of Paradise Lost. She's also going to be C2 for this showcase, but this doesn't really do anything because these only really affect her burst. So yeah, these constellations are useless. You could have C0 and honestly you would probably get the same results. And finally, your talents that don't really matter, 6, 8, 10. Crown on the burst, but we're not using the burst, so it's kind of useless. Anyway, that is the team for our Kinich Hyperbloom support variation. Blah, 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 blah. I don't really know what to call this team yet. I'm sure I'll come up with that later. How is still taunting me. But yeah, let's go ahead and try to test out this team now and see what damage we can see from it. See if it's actually good. That's why we're here, right? Okay, let's go ahead and do that now. Alright, we have a couple tests to run before we actually get started with showcasing this team's damage against some bosses. What I really want to know here is how much Hyperbloom damage is the Raiden Shogun doing, and how is the scroll buff buffing up the character. So let me just do a full rotation here. So we're going to start with the Raiden Shogun, move on to Xingqiu here, and then burst with Yelan catching Xingqiu's particles, and then we're going to go like this with Kinich, definitely get the Dendro applied, and then I'm going to pause. We're going to pause, And then I'm going to take a look to see what buffs we got. So we got the Hydro buff, and we got the Dendro buff. So it seems like most of the time we're going to be getting the Hydro buff, which again is pretty good because Yelan will be doing a lot of damage as well. And another thing that we're going to be doing mostly in this team is kind of just running in circles. We're seeing some decent hyperbloom damage, 28k from that hyperbloom. I'll slow that down so you guys can see that. That is pretty good in my opinion. I'm not mad about that at all. We'll do another little test here. Xingqiu, and then we will use you, get some of that applied, and then Electro, how much do we see? 27k, so overall, not bad hyperbloom damage either. Okay, I think we've actually learned some pretty valuable things from doing this test here. Alright, so, number one, Kinich can use Scroll and did buff up our Hydro damage dealers, which is pretty good, because again, Yelan will be doing a big chunk of damage in this team. And on the other side of that, he also buffed Dendro, which is the main way that the Raiden Shogun is going to be doing damage, because again, she's doing Hyperbloom. So overall, this team actually comes together in a really weird and beautiful way. The Scroll, Kinich, support, Hyperbloom, team build. Yes, it works great. I'm honestly really interested to see how this performs against bosses now. Alright, let's go ahead and see how that goes. Let's go and catapult over there. Okay, ready? Alright, we're gonna go fight the Desert Dorito. I almost forgot his name for a second. Let's go ahead and get that done. Alright, let's see what a full proper rotation of this team can look like here. I'm just going to follow very similarly to what I did before. Yelan coming out here, which is good. Make sure she catches her particles there. And then we're going to start with Kinich here. Let's see what we do. And we don't really want to use his cannon. We just want to keep going in a circle, which is honestly hilarious. And look at the damage we're doing. I mean, he's almost dying. And then the cannon shot. And wow, he's dead just like that. I mean, that was pretty effective. Kinich without Pyro, it's actually working pretty well. I mean, look at how well he took down the Desert Dorito. That is pretty insane in my opinion. But now I'm just really curious to see how this team will perform against this Pyro team. Will it do better? Will it do worse? I don't know. Let's go ahead and see that comparison. Alright, I got both teams going out here. I got Emily, and I also got Mawika on Scroll as well. So the Hyperbloom team definitely has a lot to keep up with, especially when it comes to the sub DPS. But Kinich is honestly just killing this guy so fast that the Hyperbloom team does not really stand a chance. But you know what? That's okay, because we're going to go ahead and test it out against the other bosses that we're going to fight today. And maybe the Hyperbloom team can handle it. I don't know. We're going to see. Before we fight the next boss, make sure you don't forget to subscribe. I'm getting really close to hitting 6,000 subs. And when we do, I'll be hosting another welcome giveaway on my Discord server. Link to join below. Alright, Kinich team, let's see what you can do against the Primogeo Vishap here. This one's going to be pretty interesting. Wait for this guy to get up a little bit. Perfect. Now I'm going to go ahead and start my rotation here. Switch to Yelan and make sure she also collects her particles. Perfect. Okay, let's go ahead and start with Kinich now and start spinning in that circle. Come on, the damage is really good, honestly. I love how much damage this team does. We're gonna keep spinning in a circle. Here we go. Make sure we hit that final burst with Kinich at the end there. All right, and then we can just keep going on the rotation. We're seeing how energy efficient it can be, and there we go. It's done. I mean, it's dead just like that. Bye bye Primogeo Vishap, and it was pyro resistant too. I don't know if that makes a difference or not because we got so much Hydro going on. But yeah, this team dealt with the Primogeo Vishap also really fast. I'm honestly kind of shocked at how well this team is actually performing. This really scuffed idea coming together really beautifully in my opinion, honestly. But now I'm just really curious to see how he's going to perform against the freaking world boss. But you know what? We need to do our comparison with the Pyro team first, guys. It's really important that we do that so we know how well this team is performing. And look at Kinich's nose. It's now a treasure chest. Isn't that nice? So back against the Primogeo Vishap, both teams going out again. And you know what? The Hyperbloom team actually has a little bit of a lead here before Kinich starts blasting it down really fast. But you know what? The Hyperbloom team is not even doing too bad. And you know what I like about the Hyperbloom team? It gets Xingqiu's defense, so you don't get knocked back as much. But yes, the Burning team did indeed take it down faster. But you know what? We still have one more boss to test this out against. Maybe the Hyperbloom team will do better. Okay, we're gonna fight the Raiden Shogun with the Raiden Shogun. Yay, this is gonna be so fun. That's actually Kinich, but you know what? You get what I mean. Alright, let's go ahead and do this boss. Alright, Raiden Shogun. Honestly, I'm pretty scared of fighting you, but we're gonna do this. Here goes Xingqiu. Ooh, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous to see how this team performs. I don't even know where she went. Where did she go? Okay, there she is. Make sure we catch her particles there. And now we're going to bust out Kinich. Come on, Kinich, let's go. Keep going in a circle. Oh my god, this is kind of crazy. We're doing really good damage, though. I'm really happy about that damage. Okay, perfect. Alright, that was not bad at all. I'm a little bit scared about this eyeball thing, but we should be able to survive it. Yeah, we can tank that easily. Perfect. Okay, here goes again. We're gonna keep going here. Oh, I got hit out. That's okay. Burst with Kinich, and we can keep going in a circle. Look at the damage, though. It's great. Kinich support is amazing. What? I mean, we just destroyed the Raiden Shogun boss actually so easily. What? Support Kinich, man. Surprisingly good. I think that this team might actually be able to beat the Abyss. I don't know. We're going to find that out very soon. But we also need to see our final comparison with the Pyro team before we do that. So let's go ahead and check that out first. Alright, now going against the Raiden Shogun. This is actually a pretty difficult boss. I actually had to switch my Wika out for Toma, just because if I don't, Kinich will just die, which is really funny. So we're doing a little bit less damage here with the burning team, but honestly, I don't think that's too much of a problem here, because again, you just need that defensive utility to really have Kinich shine here. And you know what? The hyperbloom team is actually pretty even with the burning team during this boss fight. So that is actually really, really interesting. Luckily, that sub DPS from Emily managed to carry this team to victory. But look at that. I mean, the hyperbloom team did complete this boss faster, which I find really, really funny. But now we're going to go ahead and test this team out against Spiral Abyss. Let's see what happens. Alright, for our Abyss this time around, we are going to be running Kinich on the first half and a Nouvelette Escoffier team that I've never really tried out on the second half, so I guess I'm going to see how that goes. But anyway, we're looking to clear this first half within a minute 30, so let's go ahead and see if this Kinich Hyperbloom team, support team, whatever we want to call it, can do it. Alright, looks like we've got EM as one of our buffs. Definitely going to take that to help out the Raiden Shogun. Alright, let's go ahead and start here as well. Perfect. Make sure we're collecting all of that energy up with Yelan here. Really, really good. Okay, and then we're going to burst. Make sure we get all that Dendro being applied. Make sure we kill that dragon dude, which you do not like. Okay, we'll continue spinning in a circle here. Perfect. Okay, that was good. That was a very solid first rotation. Gonna try to keep these guys as grouped up as possible here, which, you know what, is honestly the most difficult part about this whole thing, is keeping these guys just happy and grouped up. They do not like to stay grouped up, which kind of affects our damage quite a bit, but I'm just gonna continue trying to spin in a circle here, trying to get these guys down. Then I'm gonna do that burst right there, and then we can head into our next rotation here. Very nice, making sure we get in all these guys down here. Another skill from the Shogun, and I'm just going to continue circling. We're making decent time here, to be honest. Both these guys are dying pretty fast. Keep circling, Kinich. Okay, perfect. We almost got these guys done. I mean, yeah, I think we can just, like, kind of just kill them like this. Here we go. Can you just die already? Just die. Thank you. I'd appreciate if he died. You know, I'll burst with Raiden Shogun. Here we go. Guys, I'm wailing. I'm using the burst. That's so not free to play with of me, but I did it anyway. Okay, perfect. We got it done though. Chamber 1 done, and we made pretty good time as well. It's all up to the Nouvelette team to finish this half. Okay, Nouvelette team, let's do it. Had to switch out for an Emily team. Couldn't do it with my Wika. Alright, looks like we got EM here. Perfect. Let's go ahead and go with that. Let's start with trying to take out these dogs here. We want to take out these dogs. We do not like these dogs. Okay, perfect. Let's start bursting with Kinich here as well, and just start spinning to win. This is a different kind of spin to win team, honestly. You've seen the one with Nouvelette, but now we've got the one with Kinich Hyperbloom. Isn't that fun? Okay, perfect. There we go. And those guys are honestly dying pretty easily here, and now we can start trying to take this guy down as well. We're already doing some decent damage to it already. Alright, let's start to spin. Oh, we didn't get hit by that. I was honestly kind of shocked. Gonna burst with Kinich here as well, and continuing to spin here. So he's gonna go ahead and do that. Hopefully I can dodge it. There we go. Perfect. And we're right out of the way. Wasn't even close, guys. It wasn't even close. Okay, here we go. Again with you. Yelan is up again, which is really nice. Okay, here we go again with Kinich. Bursting with him, and we're gonna try to get this guy down into his final phase here. It looks like we're going to get to it pretty quick, actually, which is really, really nice. I'm just going to continue to spin to win here. Okay, looks like we got to deal with this crab dude over here. So let's go ahead and try to start attacking it here. Bursting with Yelan. Okay, perfect. It seems like we're doing a pretty good job so far. Okay, here we go. We're going to start spinning to win. We're in a little bit of a dangerous area here, I will admit, but that's okay. Alright, one last big hit with Kinich there. Perfect. Okay, we can continue to try to start doing this next rotation as well here. We're running a little bit low on time here, so we are definitely past the limit, but honestly, this is definitely a pretty hard chamber. But we were able to get it done in a minute 40-ish, minute 40, I think. So not bad. Not bad at all. Okay, Emily, DPS Emily team. Here we go. Gotta just whip out DPS Emily when things are going wrong on the second half. Alright, let's get this side done. Alright, the DPS Emily team took it down. Yippee. Oh my gosh, that was a little close, but we're doing good. We're still good. Alright, more EM again. What are the chances of getting triple EM? That's a little bit crazy. Alright, though, chamber 3 for the Kinich team, though. Let's go ahead and see what we can get done here. Alright, start with Yelan as well, and let's start circling and bursting with Kinich and more circling. Yay. This is such a weird team, man, but I'm honestly surprised it's working so well. I mean, we stuttered a little bit on the last chamber, took a little bit longer than we would have liked to take it down, but you know what, we still got it done, which is honestly pretty funny in my opinion. Alright, here we go, and now we're gonna start moving in circles with Kinich here, trying to take this guy down here. Fortunately, it looks like his shield is pretty strong against my current team, which is a little bit unfortunate here. But you know what? We're still getting it done. We're getting it done. That's what matters, right? All right. Unfortunately, Shogun is not very useful here. I think we just kind of have to spin to win until we can take his shield down. Maybe, yeah, the big hits are better here. This is a very unique way to try to take this guy down here. But you know what? It's working. This is working. That's for sure. Okay, here we go. Perfect. And make sure we get all that energy up with Yelan here. Unfortunately, we can't get our burst up quite yet, which is quite a bit annoying, but you know what? We're going to have to deal with that. Alright, let's start spinning to win here, seeing if we can try to take this guy down. Unfortunately, Electro is just not great for this team to deal with, but we are trying very hard to get it down here. Alright, here comes out Yelan again. Try to get everyone's burst out here. Perfect. And there we go. Almost a minute 30. I'll take it. We're literally 3 seconds off a minute 30. Clean that up and you're good. Alright, not bad though. Alright, time for Emily team to take this down. Yep, should be pretty easy for it. Alright, almost done with Emily team here. Take it down, Emily team. I love DPS Emily, guys. Just burning your opponents to death. So fun. Anyway, though, the Kinich team without burning managed to beat the Spiral Abyss. I mean, that's worth something, right? Despite this team going against how you're supposed to play and build Kinich, I have to say it performed way better than I thought it ever would. It definitely still lags behind when comparing it to his normal burning team in most cases, but honestly, I think that this team can be pretty fun and even a good alternative if you don't have the characters to make his normal team work. Overall, if you have the characters, I would definitely recommend that you give this team a try. The support Kinich meta may actually be happening soon.